computer. So, good afternoon, ladies. Today we're going to read um, from the Devi, but it's a shorter version of chapter 1 in book 11, which we've just started from the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. So, Sutta said, and Vyasa said to the king, Narada said to Narayana, remember, it's one person telling another story on another story, okay? But the main conversation is Narada, who's asked all these questions of Narayana. Bhagavan, you are the primal eternal one. You are the Lord of all beings that have lived in the past and of those that will come to be, of those in the deep, deep future. You have told me the wondrous legends of the Devi Bhagavati, and my heart soars. But Muni, incomparable Narayana, tell me of more earthly, mundane things now. Tell me about the sadachara, the way of right living, the changeless path of Dharma. So Narayana said, one's deliverance depends upon oneself. So indeed, one must observe sadachara to earn a goodly store of punyas. That's like blessings or, yeah, good karmas to help one in the next world. With Dharma alone does a man cross safely over the sea of sorrow, the ocean of anxiety and fear. The main dharmas are those laid down by Manu and the Shrutis and the Manu Smritis. Only by right conduct are life, prosperity, and growth to be had in this world and the next. By righteous living alone does even food come one's way. And by Dharma, a man's sins are burnt to ashes. It is from good deeds that a man gains knowledge, and knowledge sets him free. Sadachara is a great tapasya. The Brahmana who has no sadachara may as well be a Sudra. Sadachara is of two kinds: the conduct laid down in the Shastras and that dictated by the popular custom come down through the ages, which is called lakika. Both are of equal importance. So, Muni, all men should observe not merely their own dharma, but the dharma of the clan, the village, the caste, the country, and of humankind, of the earth, and the very universe of souls. Wealth that has no dharma in it must be avoided like the deadliest disease. Wealth that accrues from pain caused to any living being must be avoided like death. You must remember there is no escape from the fruits of what one does, both good and evil. Not 1,000 kalpas is the least karma fruitless. Excuse me, not in 1,000 kalpas is the least karma fruitless. Narada asked, but Muni, the sastras are many and they all prescribe different codes of conduct. Why different dharmas, often contradictory? Which dharma shastra should one follow? Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, so he asked, which one should one follow? Shruti and Smriti are the two paths of God, and the Purana is his heart. All that Shrutis, the Smritis, and the Puranas say in is Dharma. And even if they may seem contradictory, each one is flawless for different times and ages. Yet it is told that the Shruti is the higher than the Smriti, and the Smriti is higher than the Puranas. And when the Shrutis themselves seem to contradict each other, remember that Dharma is also of two kinds. Often, the Puranas describe in detail, even advocate the Tantra Shastras. But if the Tantra goes against the Vedas, always remember the Veda is the elder and the higher authority. He who injures another living being, even with a blade of kusa grass, will pay for his crime. For the justice of the universe is immaculate, just as it is full of mercy and imagination. Heretics and extremists of every kind whose deeds and words harm either themselves or other living souls find punishment before they learn the liberal, loving way of the truth of real Dharma. The eternal Sanatan Dharma, which is gentle, nonviolent, and is in harmony with the universe. Goodness and mercy are the greatest virtues. A man should ask himself every day what good he has done on that day. He should ask himself with relentless honesty what sins he has committed. And during the last quarter of the night, he should meditate upon the Brahman, the all lustrous self of all selves, the ultimate reality whose eyes are everywhere. He should sit in Padmasana, his tongue cleaving to his palate, shutting his eyes, his head erect, utterly quiescent. He should restrain his breath with pranayama and fix his thought on the sacred light within his heart. Om Mani Padme Hum, the jewel in the lotus of 1,000 petals. Pranayama is the highest yoga, and pranamana. Oh my gosh, there's a cricket on my on my computer. Oh well, guess he's okay. Pranayama is the highest yoga, and pranayama is of 6 kinds. Sadhuma, when the breaths are not even. Nirduma, when they are somewhat steady. Sagabha, when the breath is yoked to one's mantra. Agarbha, the pure breathing without any mantra. Salaksva, when the heart is fixed upon one Ishta Devata. And Alaksha, when the mind is free and does not attach itself to any deity. Pranayama is of the nature of pranava, the primal syllable, the root of the universe, the blessed highest Om. The 3 parts of pranayama, paraka, kumbhaka, and vichaka, inhaling, retaining, and exhaling, are indeed the letters of the Om. The Ida Nadi is the left nostril. Paraka, the drawing in of prana, is done through this nadi. Paraka is of the nature of Vishnu and is performed to a count of 32. Kumbhaka, which is the retentive moment, so the sacred life breath permeates the body and the self, is of the nature of Shiva and is performed to the count of 64. And Vichaka, which is exhaling, is done through the Pingala Nadi, the right nostril, and to the count of 16. When the breath has been fetched under control, the 6 chakras along the spinal stem are pierced with the Kula Kundalini, raising the serpent fire from the base of the spine in the Muladhara chakra, and it snakes up to the Brahmajandra, 1,000-petal lotus of the soul within the brain. Now the Atman burns like a flame in a windless place, and the yogin meditates upon that which is eternal, beginningless, and changeless in his heart. Narada wanted to know more about the experience of raising the Kundalini Shakti through the chakras. Narayana said, the chakras are sukshma. They exist in the spiritual dimension. They are like subtle spinning spheres. They are like lotuses, each with its petals. They are profound, O Muni, and at each of them, many visions inundate the sadhaka. Many changes occur. All sorts of wonderful insights are obtained, arcane and reluctant visions of the universe. The Kundalini Shakti slumbers at the base of the spine in the four-petaled Muladhara chakra, between the anus and the root of the genitals. She is blood red and is involved with the mantra Hrim, the Maya Bija. She is as fire as a fiber, she is as fine as a fiber of the stalk of a lotus. In truth, far finer. Her face is the sun. Surya, Agni, the fire, is her breast. He who sees the Kula Kundalini awakened even once surely becomes a Jiva Mukta, though his journey is a long one after his first vision. He who wants the final blessing of the serpent fire must worship the Devi Bhagavati, whose Amsa the Kundalini is, who is verily the Kundalini Shakti. He must picture her in his heart, pray to her fervently, and hymn her. The yogin thinks, I am the Devi Bhagavati myself. I am the cause of all causes. I am perfectly free from sorrow. My nature is Satchitananda, everlasting being, intelligence, and bliss. He meditates upon his own self, seeking sanctuary in the Kula Kundalini, which appears like streak lightning along its ascent to the Brahmarandra in the brain, and like honeyed nectar on its way down again to the chakra at the base of the spine. He meditates upon his own guru, whom he thinks of as God himself, saying, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshvara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahman, Tasmi Shri Guruve Nama, which means the Guru is Brahma, he is Vishnu and Shiva too, verily. He is the Para Brahman and the Guru full of grace. I bow to you. Even if a man knows the Vedas and their 6 Amgas perfectly, he cannot be without sin if he does not practice sadhachara. When young birds grow wings, they leave their nest. The Vedas leave a man when he dies if he has no sadhachara. Nitya karma is always a blessing, and all men must observe the rites of Nitya and the 3 sandhyas of the day at dawn, noon, and dusk. And I think this is where we end.
Oh.
This is where it starts talking about what to do when you wake up in the morning, and I'll read those chapters later. So, but I liked his simplification of the pranayama. I think following his instructions, I could actually do it. I had a little trouble understanding it when I was reading the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. Did you find that also, Milvi? That was a little bit hard to follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a lot easier. And it sounds like pranayama is a very important thing to do each morning. So I might try. I think Raghavir actually said on maybe the satsang before last, he was talking about pranayama, how important that was. So are there any questions?
One more thing to add to our practice.
Right.
That's the breathing of
Yeah.
that in any pace. I mean, we were taught that. I think I've got some written stuff on how to do that too somewhere.
When you bring it in, apparently with the different sounds. So yeah. So that's what I lead from this. So yes, I think I've been taught it a few times, but maybe this will help me pick it up again. Yeah.
That seems like an awful long count, though. 32 in and 64 out.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
you can do what you can do, or you can count really fast.
Yeah.
But I think you can, as you're learning, obviously, it probably is going to take. You might not be able to hold your breath that long. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, and now with the change of
So do you hold it? You breathe in through the left nostril for a count of 32, and then you hold it for 64. Is that right?
yes.
Oh, and then exhale it for 16. Yeah, that's holding it for a long time.
And I was going to say that now with the change of time, it's a little bit harder to get up before the sun rises because it's getting up.
Yeah.
Delightful, but it's a little harder to get to Baba before he goes to work. And Annie, do you remember? Did he actually? I didn't know if Arvind alluded to that, or if Baba said, we have meetings and things like that, when he was explaining to Arvind about why to do it. And so I think it was that, all the meetings to keep all the cosmos is going. But I think I'll turn off the recording now.